In the heart of the emerald jungle, where the sun painted everything in brilliant gold, lived a tiny firefly named Flick. But Flick? Well, Flick didn't feel so brilliant. While the other fireflies burst through the dusk like tiny dazzling stars, Flick's light was a soft, timid will flicker. He'd watch the daytime animals with a heavy heart. There was Leo the Parrot, whose colorful feathers and booming voice made him the self-proclaimed voice of the jungle. Then there was Balu the Bear, so strong he could toss fallen logs aside like twigs, and Mika the Monkey, who zipped through the treetops, knowing every secret path. Even Squeaky, the anxious little squirrel, was a master gatherer, his sharp eyes missing nothing. Next to them, Flick felt like a shadow, a tiny, useless flicker in a world of blazing sun. One evening, a hushed excitement swept through the jungle. The moon bloom was about to open. This wasn't just any flower. It bloomed for a single night once every 10 years, and its nectar was vital for the health of the entire jungle. But as dusk settled, so did disaster. The sky turned a bruised purple, and a vicious storm ripped through the trees. Wind howled, and with a deafening crack, the ancient, twisting branches of the great banyan tree, the only path to the moon, bloom crashed down, creating a dark, tangled, and utterly impassable maze. Panic set in. The daytime heroes gathered at the edge of the thorny labyrinth. "We must reach the flower before dawn," boomed Leo, but his voice couldn't pierce the darkness. Balu tried to charge through, huffing and puffing, but the branches were too tightly woven. "I can't see where to push," he grumbled, nursing a new scratch on his nose. Mika, the expert navigator, tried to find a path. He'd leap onto a branch, only to find it led to a dead end, nearly getting tangled in thorny vines. "It's no good," he chattered, frustrated. "I know the paths, but in this darkness, the paths are gone." Squeaky just scurried in circles, his tail twitching nervously. "Too dark, too many shadows, we'll never make it." All their strength, speed, and bravado were useless against the night. Hiding behind a leaf, Flick watched them fail. He saw their despair, and for the first time, he didn't feel small. He felt a purpose. His weak little light might not be a brilliant flash, but in the total, absolute darkness of the maze, even a flicker could be a guide. Taking a deep breath, he flew towards the defeated group. "Excuse me?" he whispered, his light pulsing nervously. The big animals barely noticed him. I think I can help," Leo scoffed. "You? What can your tiny blink do?" But Flick didn't argue. He simply flew into the maze. His soft, gentle glow didn't blind them. Instead, it illuminated just enough a dangerous thorn here, a narrow gap there. "Follow me," he pulsed softly. Cautiously, the others followed. A little to the left, Balu Flick's light would signal, showing the bear a weak spot in the tangle. Balu pushed, and a path cleared. Mika, up here. His flicker would dance, revealing a safe branch overhead that the monkey had missed. He guided Squeaky away from loose, noisy leaves and led Leo through tight spaces he never would have attempted alone. Flick's weak light wasn't a beacon, it was a whisper, a quiet, steady guide that made all their daytime strengths usable in the dark. Working together, they navigated the impossible maze. And just as the first hint of dawn touched the sky, they emerged into a clearing. There it was, the moon bloom, glowing with an ethereal silvery light, its petals wide open. They had made it. As the animals drank the life-giving nectar, they all turned to the little firefly, who was hovering quietly, his job done. We couldn't have done it without you, Flick," Balu said, his voice full of genuine respect. Leo, for once, was quiet, before finally saying, "Your light, it may not be loud, but it showed us the way when we were all lost." From that night on, no one ever saw Flick as a weak shadow again. They saw him as Flick, the navigator of the night. He learned that true strength isn't about being the brightest or the loudest. Sometimes, the most important light is the one that's just strong enough to guide others through the darkness. It proves that everyone has a talent, a unique glow, and a time when they are destined to shine.